Well, today is Tuesday, June 11th, and today I am doing something that I don't want to be doing. I am replanting beans. We have been cool and wet, and that unfortunately has led to a lot of slug pressure. And in some of our tougher type soils that lay a little wetter than everywhere else that have a residue mat like this field here, slugs seem to love that and they thrive there. And unfortunately, beans are very tasty and they like to eat them. So today we are replanting beans. It is not what I want to be doing, but it's what I need to do, because as you can see, there is absolutely nothing here. Now, it's, kind of spotty. That end of the field is decent enough that I'm going to do more damage than good down there. Same way with partway down here. There's kind of a midpoint here where that wellhead is out there. That's halfway decent, so I planted out by the road there. Now I'm out here in the middle of the field replanting this. I mean, is it the right call? I don't know. That's depends on your perspective. If I had a 30-foot turbo till, I'd be hooking that to my 8920 and I'd probably be wiping this entire field and going again. But that's time, money, and diesel fuel that I don't necessarily have the time or the diesel fuel for. I mean, I have it, I just don't want to spend it. So we are out here kind of spot planting, right or wrong. That is what we are doing. And you can see here what slug damage looks like. They are just eating the living shit out of the plant to the point that you get to where there's nothing left. So that's what we're doing. You can see that's a little slimy here where somebody was probably just here recently. Anywho's, it is warming up now. We are going to have 90-degree temperatures here at the end of this week. So I think my slug issue is going to solve itself. Slugs like cool, wet, damp areas. And when you have a cool, wet spring, where do they hide? In residue. So with it warming up now, they're going to vacate this area. So I'm going to replant this. It's not what I want to be doing, but it's what needs done, so it's what we're doing. So we got the 806 hooked back up to the drill here. I just got done pressure washing and cleaning all this stuff up and putting it all away, and I guess I got a little bit too gun-ho about putting things away. I am very picky about my machinery. I like things washed up, cleaned up, and put away. Nothing here sits outside. So this got the old pressure wash treatment and put away till cover crops. But unfortunately, we are back out here again, hooked up, drilling beans, because slugs are great and they like to ruin things. So it's unfortunate. It's going to cost me time and money, but it is what it is. It's got to get done. This land can't sit here barren and empty. This will be nothing but a seed bank for weeds. As the growing season takes off, things will just germinate in here and make a hell of a mess. That, and I've invested the fertilizer and the herbicide into this acreage here. I need to recoup that cost. So we are out here drilling in beans for the second time. So, what do you do? Can't be right all the time. No-till is a great tool, but it's a tool. I cannot tell you that no-till is the answer 100% of the time in every acre there ever was, okay? It's a prescription. We've talked about that before, about prescription tillage. This field here lays a little wetter. We've had some issues in the past here. I think moving forward, we may just figure on working this field every year when we plant, considering this is where we tend to end up early. And the early stuff tends to be the stuff that gets attacked the most by slugs. So I think we'll probably in the future be working this ahead of the planter to try to alleviate that issue. But no-till is a great tool. It works in many situations, but in some situations it's a disadvantage. And in this field here, I think that it was probably a disadvantage. That's a controversial topic. It depends on who you talk to. I've had guys comment and say, well, plowing's what gets the good back in the dirt. And I don't agree with that statement. God doesn't till, so I don't think that he engineered this world to work where you're out here ripping it up. Now, tillage is a tool. You use it as needed. Same with no-till. No-till is a tool. You use it where needed. So unfortunately for me, this year, no-tilling this field was a bad decision. It didn't work out considering the spring we had. But I cannot predict the future. Nobody can predict the future. So how was I to know that we were going to lay cool and wet for the next couple of weeks after planting? So it's just one of them things. It's part of farming. You win some, you lose some. You just got to roll with the punches and make do. So I guess we're going to quit yapping here and get back to work. But that's what we're doing. We're replanting beans in the second week of June. Damn slugs. That's all I got to say. Anybody got a salt shaker? I need you to come out here and do a whole bunch of that. Now while I'm out here doing this, Dad has been at home with the skid steer unloading the hay that we baled over this past weekend. Been kind of hard to find really good weather for baling this year also. You know, rain every other day doesn't seem to aid in that. Now thankfully we had a little shot here 2 weeks ago on a Saturday to do some, and then last Saturday we had another shot to do some more. I mowed a bunch yesterday also, so I'm hoping to finish out the week by knocking out a bunch of hay, trying to get first cutting wrapped up. It's hard to get it all dry, you know, when you got rain every other day. So that's what Dad's doing. He's off running around unloading bales at home with the skid steer and the tie grabber bucket. And then also this issue, he's been out scouting fields ahead of me to find out which ones are bad and to know where to go and how much to even bother with and so on and so forth. So I just got done finishing this field here. I kind of spot planted this one. That west side of that field, probably about a third of the way down, I planted and worked off of that side. Now once I got over here to the east side of the field, I damn near had to go the whole way to the field. Just, there was nothing worth salvaging, nothing that's going to be a viable crop for this year, so I went ahead and planted the whole thing. Now you might wonder how I know that this is slug issue and not groundhogs, rabbits, deer, whatever. If you look at these leaves, and you can see where they start in the centermost part of the plant, almost in the leaf there, and you see how that's ate out in a circle, and that's pretty well on every single one of these. That's a telltale sign that you have slug issues. So you lay underneath that leaf and they eat on the daggone thing, and right here's another one that they pretty near ate the whole damn thing. There's a spider there. Why don't you eat the slug, jackass? Anyways, so yeah, they just have been decimating this crop out here. And without that leaf, the plant can't absorb sunlight and do photosynthesis and all that fun stuff that plants do to, you know, exist. So unfortunately, they kill the plant by eating the leaf. And they're kind of dumb in that way because, you know, this is their shelter. They're eating their shelter and killing their shelter. Now, not saying mankind is the smartest thing either, that's for sure, but the jackasses are eating my beans, and I ain't happy about it.